Bo, I already gave you $5,000.
You owe me a lot more than that, Ruby.
Look, why don't you wait till I get you a job on the Phil Roberts show? Then I'll give you all the money. But if I do it before then, Billy Joe and Ricky are going to get suspicious.
You ain't gonna get me no job on the Phil Roberts show. Not after last night. He's gonna keep his distance from you now.
Why? Just because his wife walked in on us? You underestimate me, Bo.
Not me, doll. I did that once. You walked out on me. But this Phil Roberts fella, he's something else again. Now, you start pushing too hard with him, he's gonna push right back, maybe push you right out the door.
Don't worry. Mrs. Phil Roberts told me exactly how to handle her husband.
Oh, Billy Joe. Thank God you're here. Why, am I late? Oh, no, I have to talk to you about something very important. There have been a few changes on the show, and I want to talk to you about them before Phil finds out.
Finds out about what?
That we want you to be the co-host of the show.
I gather you had a successful shopping trip.
Oh, very successful. Were there any calls?
9 or 10, I made a list.
Did Edith Oliver call?
Yes, ma'am. She said she appreciated a little talk you had with her yesterday. I gather that has some special meaning for you.
Oh, indeed it does. It means that Paige Marshall's in for quite a surprise.
Did you see Dennis this morning?
I was at the hospital about an hour ago. Dennis is doing fine.
Any word on when he might get out?
Well, that depends on him. He can leave any time he wants to, but I think he'll probably stay at least another week. I think what he needs right now is rest.
Well, I mustn't keep you any longer, Elliot. I have to get dressed to go over to the boutique.
I was thinking of dropping by myself. I wanted to see how the remodeling was going. Why don't I pick you up on the way?
Thank you. I'd like that very much. I'll see you shortly, Elliot. All right? Bye-bye.
Why, Mrs. Oliver.
I'm sorry to drop by without warning. I tried to reach you by phone, but it was busy all morning.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to Nita about the invitations, announcing that the Orphans Charity Fund is going to be sponsoring the opening of the boutique.
I need to speak to you about that. There's been a problem. I'm dreadfully sorry, but I have to tell you that the Orphans Fund isn't going to sponsor the opening after all.
Kate, I thought Marlene was going to do that.
Well, she is. I just want to write the names on the back of the pictures before she puts them in the album.
Do you remember all those names?
Almost, except for only one or two. I'll have to get Judge Rayburn to help me with them.
When are you going to invite the judge out here for supper?
Soon. Right now, I think maybe we better do something about lunch.
Okay. Where's Arlene?
Down to the stable. She'll be back shortly.
Well, you seem to be getting along pretty well in your new home. I'm sorry you can't be with the rest of your brothers and sisters, but I'm going to ask Miss Kate to let me keep you up at the house. In the meantime, I'll spend as much time as I can down here. Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Okay. I'll be right up there. Okay. Well, Christopher Columbus, I've got to go up to the house for lunch, but I'll be right back, so don't you go away.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Bo, I'm going to have Phil Roberts eaten out of my hand by tonight. But I'm going to need your help.
What kind of help?
Listen, I want you to run out and get me a fifth of vodka and some mixers. Oh, and get some decent glasses, too. Bring it all back here.
What for?
Never mind what for, just do it. Oh, and make sure you disappear around 4 o'clock.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, now, you ain't planning on bringing Phil Roberts back here now, are you? Now, what good's that gonna do?
Listen, Mrs. Phil Roberts told me that her husband is an alcoholic. Now, he almost lost the show a year ago, but she kept him from doing it. She also told me if he ever takes another drink...
All right, so he gets drunk. So what?
Well, the sponsors of the Phil Roberts show aren't too happy with him as it is. And if he shows up drunk again...
He gets fired. So what?
Well, if he gets fired, then Billy Joe takes his place, and I'll get Billy Joe to give you a job.
Is that right?
That's right.
Ooh, I sure got me one smart wife.
You got one busy wife. Come on, Bo.
Just like the good old days in Nashville. Tell me something, Ruby.
What?
Is Ricky Decker as good as I am?
I gotta go. Just remember to be out of here by 4, okay? Oh, don't forget the booze. Lorraine's on her way up.
She's much calmer, don't you think? She seems much more secure with you around.
I think she's secure because she knows that Bubba's in Mississippi.
Oh, I just hope he'll stay there for a while.
Justin thinks he'll stay at least a week. Oh, and speaking of Justin, did you find out for sure if Ashley's really pregnant?
She says she is.
Rena doesn't think so. Neither do I.
Have you talked to Rena?
Yes. She's driving Cody crazy because she keeps calling him every hour to find out if they've had any word on Stephen Barrett.
Well, he can handle that. I'm just glad Rena's got something constructive to channel her energies into.
I don't think she's given up on Justin.
Oh, now, don't you encourage her.
No, I won't. I won't. Did you, see Rena's picture in the financial page this morning?
Uh-huh.
There was an article about Paige, too.
Yes, I saw that. I didn't know Paige was going to open a boutique.
Mm-mm. What surprises me is that Mrs. Oliver would lend her support for her charity to Paige.
Well, Edith and Caldwell Oliver have been good friends of Paige's father. Or maybe Edith felt that was a good reason for her to get involved.
I wonder if Mrs. Oliver knows what she's getting herself into.
Well, now, Paige ran the Top of the World Club very well. Alex Wheeler thought she was a good businesswoman. I think maybe the shop will go all right.
Wait a minute. I thought everything was set with the Orphans Fund.
It wasn't official.
But I understood it to be only a formality, Mrs. Oliver.
I'm dreadfully sorry. These things happen.
May I ask why the committee decided to change their minds?
We decided that the venture was too commercial.
But I understood that the fund did this sort of thing all of the time.
We do, but more often with churches and institutions of that sort.
I was going to donate the entire proceeds of the opening day to the Orphans Fund.
I know, my dear. And it was a very generous gesture on your part.
It was going to amount to a sizable sum of money, not to mention the publicity.
I'm dreadfully sorry, but the committee has made their decision, and there's nothing I can do.
Mrs. Oliver, did the committee have any help in making their decision?
I don't know what you mean, Mrs.
Oh, I
Cameron.
have a feeling that you know exactly what I mean.
I must be going. I'm so sorry.
Not half as sorry as I am. You're not gonna get away with this, Iris.
Ben, what's going on around here?
Well, what do you mean, Phil?
I mean, what the hell is going on around here? I come into the studio and people are clustered around whispering, and as soon as they see me, they run off.
Phil, I've been meaning to talk to you about...
Talk to me about what?
Well, actually, it wasn't official until Billy Joe had time to consider his decision, but now he has agreed. So...
Agreed to what?
Now, I don't want you to hit the ceiling about this, Phil. And if you take time to kind of think about it, you'll see it's all for the best. Actually, it'll take a lot of the pressure off.
Damn it, Ben, will you stop the drivel and come to the point?
The sponsors want Billy Joe to co-host the show with you from now on.
What did you say?
I said the sponsors of the show want
I thought
Billy
that's
Joe...
what you said.
Now, don't fly off
Don't
the
tell
handle
me
about
not to
this.
fly off the handle. If I find out you had anything to do with this, if you had any part in it at all, I'll see to it personally that you never work for KVIK again or any other station on the Victory Network or anywhere in this country. As far as Billy Joe Wright co-hosting my show, that's never going to happen.
I'm afraid you had no choice in the matter, Phil. It's already been decided.
Oh, has it? Well, we'll see about that. I'll go straight to Vicki Bellman if I have to.
Ben,
Oh, here's the boy wonder himself.
I guess I picked a bad time to talk to you, Ben. I'll come back later.
Not so fast, Billy Joe.
Paige, working yourself up like this isn't going to help anybody.
I can't help it, Elliot.
Well, you have to try.
Every time I think about Iris talking to Mrs. Oliver, I can just see red.
But you have no proof that Iris talked to Mrs. Oliver.
Elliot, do you remember when you came to the hospital waiting room yesterday where Iris and I were talking? And you asked me what Iris said that upset me? Well, she told me that no one would patronize my boutique after they found out what kind of a person I was.
Well, that still doesn't mean that Iris talked to Mrs. Oliver.
Elliot, Iris saw the article in the paper saying that the opening of the boutique was going to go to the charity.
Well, even if it was Iris, there's nothing we can do about it
Oh,
now.
yes, there is. There's something I can do. I'm going to pay Iris a little visit.
Oh, Paige, what good will that do?
At least I can tell her that her little plan is not going to... Elliot, the Orphans Fund was so important to the opening of the boutique. I have to find a way of establishing myself with a wealthy clientele.
Well, we'll just have to find another charity.
It's no use. Iris will put a stop to that, too.
Well, in that case, I'll go and talk to Iris myself. But the last thing that you should do when you're in this mood is talk to her. It just makes things worse.
Did you talk to the people in the ranch in Colorado, the one Barrett worked at?
Yes, I haven't heard from him. They expect he'll come back, though, because he left most of his clothes there.
Maybe they'll stop there on their way to Montana.
That is, if they go to Montana.
Well, that's what Steve told the filling station man. You know, Kate, I think Barrett had a plan all along. I think he made plans when he even took Steve.
Barrett was always very well organized. He never liked to do things right off the top of his head. And with all the contacts that Cody's made all over the country, someone's bound to spot them soon.
Maybe.
I think Steve will get in touch with you eventually.
Kate, he thinks Ryan and I are in Acapulco for our honeymoon for the next 3 weeks.
Well, then he'll call or write me. You'll see.
Unless Barrett's convinced Steve that I don't love him anymore.
Jimmy. I don't think that's possible.
I hope you're right.
I wonder what's keeping Lurleen.
Now, be careful, Ginny. You're being overprotective.
Kate, she's gone through a terrible ordeal.
No. And you've been a great help to her. But she's got to learn to stand on her own 2 feet. Now, you've got to help her do that.
I will. Hi, Lurleen. How's Christopher Columbus doing?
Fine. You want to go see him?
Sure, you want to go right now?
Oh, no. You run along. I want to finish these so you can put them in the book.
Okay, we'll be back soon. Then I'll fix lunch.
Hello there, Christopher Columbus. How are you?
It's all right, Billy Joe. What is it?
Well, it's this. Wardrobe wanted me to wear this today, but I feel more comfortable with what I'm wearing.
Well, just wear your own then.
Oh, by all means, wear whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Wouldn't you be more at home in my jacket, or should I give you the shirt off my back?
Look, I got to go finish getting ready. We're going to tape a couple of those commercials before the show begins.
Hey, Billy Joe.
What is it, Phil?
Well, don't go getting too comfortable in this job. You may not be around too long.
Now, Phil, come on. Leave him alone.
Look, I don't want to fight.
I know what you want, Billy Joe. You want my job. Well, you're not going to have it. I'm not going to let some two-bit little twerp waltz in here and take my job away from me without a fight.
Don't you ever call me that word again, you understand? And as far as your show concerned, I don't want any part of you or your lousy show.
Billy Joe.
You've been on my back since the first day I came in here. You and your ego. Well, I've had it up to here. You go find yourself another co-host. Because I quit.
Billy Joe! You just better hope he doesn't mean that. Because we need him on this show. Before he and Ricky Decker came along, Phil Roberts was about to be canceled. If we lose Billy Joe, you can just kiss this show goodbye.
Well, that's just fine with me. Because if Billy Joe Wright co-hosts my show, it's going to be over my dead body. Or on second thought, over his dead body.
How's Dennis, Mr. Carrington?
He's doing better, Vivian.
I wanted to go and visit him at the hospital, but Mrs. Wheeler says it's better I should wait.
Well, I guess she's right, Vivian, at least for a while.
So I made some Toll House cookies for him because those are his favorite. I was wondering if you would take them for me.
I'd be glad to.
I'm sorry about what happened at the Top of the World Club the other night. I hope you're not mad at Mrs. Wheeler. She was trying to do what was the best for Dennis.
I wish I could believe that, but I'm not sure that I do.
Mrs. Wheeler told him from the very beginning she was against him showing that film.
Well, then why on earth did she go along with it?
Because I knew that was the only way I could get my hands on the film. If I had refused him, he'd only have found another way to show it.
I'm going to go get those cookies now.
Which is exactly what he did.
Well, if you'd told me what was going on, I could have stopped him.
I thought I had everything under control. I didn't know he had another copy of the film.
Iris, I didn't come here to talk about the porno film.
Thank goodness for that. None of this would have happened at all if you hadn't taken up with that tramp Page.
And I didn't come here to listen to you insult Paige.
Well, then why did you come here,
I
Elliot?
came to ask if you know a woman named Edith Oliver.
Oh, of course I know Edith Oliver. She's from one of the oldest families in Houston.
Did you ask her to withdraw the support of the Orphans Fund charity from the opening of Page's boutique?
Rita called and said she's coming out to the ranch. We're going to go riding this afternoon. Would you like to come with us?
I'd love to, but is she going to be able to get off?
Oh, she said she was going to try. And even if she can't, you and I can go by ourselves, okay?
Okay.
So where is this Christopher Columbus?
Well, there's no telling. He's so frisky, he could be anywhere.
Oh, honey, you left your jacket over here.
Where Max used to hang it when he was working.
You really miss him, don't you?
Everybody does. People like Max don't come along too often.
I know.
Well, the kitten was here when I left him.
Let me go look up here. Maybe
Where are you, Christopher Columbus? Now, I can't understand
you'd like Miss Kate to keep him up at the house.
Jenny.
Did you find him?
No. No.
Lillian. Honey, what is it?
He's dead. The kitten's dead.
Well, of course I told Edith not to sponsor the opening of Page's boutique.
Why did you do that?
Why? Isn't that obvious? Edith is a friend of mine. I'd never forgive myself if I allowed her to become involved with a woman of Page Marshall's caliber.
Iris, I'm giving you fair warning.
Oh, warn me all you like, Elliot. I'm not going to let my friends be used by that woman.
Paige has put a great deal of money into this boutique. It is very important to her.
And the Orphans Fund is very important to Edith Oliver. She has been chairman of the committee for 15 years. I think she would find it very difficult to raise funds when word got around that she was involved with the likes of Paige.
Just what did you tell Mrs. Oliver about Paige?
Oh, don't worry. I did not mention the porno film.
I asked you what you told her.
I told Edith that Paige had worked for me at the Top of the World Club, and that I'd found her to associate with, shall we say, unsavory types.
Go on.
Well, of course, I had to tell her that Paige had lived with Peter Parnell, who was arrested for trafficking in drugs, murdering a man named Stokes, and my husband.
I can't believe you've really done this.
You cannot deny it's all true, Elliot. Every word of it.
I can't believe you were once my wife.
Our marriage is something I prefer to forget when I see you carrying on with Paige.
Paige has made mistakes, Iris. God knows we all have. But her mistakes are behind her. She's doing her best to build a new life. You have no right to tear that down.
I have no objection to Paige's building a new life, provided she does it someplace other than Houston.
Is that Mr. Carrington? He left. I didn't give him these cookies.
I loved that little kitten.
I know, honey. I know you did.
Why did he have to die? He was so happy, so healthy.
Here, Lurleen. I made some tea for you.
Kitten was fine when I left him. He was chasing a moth around the stable.
Lurleen, maybe he wasn't well. You know, nature has a way of dealing with these things. Even the mother rejected it.
It wasn't sick. I know that kitten was fine. His eyes were too bright for him to have been sick.
Well, maybe one of the horses kicked him.
The horses were out in the pasture. They couldn't have killed him.
Honey, guys, he knows more about animals than almost any vet. He's going to figure it out for you.
I have to bury the kitten.
Guy's going to do that for you, remember? Come on, sweetheart, don't cry.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm carrying on like this. Please forgive me.
I forgive you because you lost something you loved. You don't have to apologize.
No.
Just got over that incident with Bubba, and now the kitten.
The kitten made me forget about Bubba.
Honey, maybe you shouldn't just forget about Bubba. You have to face it and sort out your feelings.
I can't. I just can't.
Okay. All right, I won't pressure you.
Lurleen, honey, why don't you go wash your face with cold water? That'll make you feel better.
I want to lie down.
Get everything?
Everything an alcoholic's heart could desire.
Good. Listen, there's been a little shake-up around here, but I think it's going to play right into our hands. I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, gotta go. Remember, at 4 o'clock, split. Hi.
What do you want?
I just talked to Billy Joe. He's going to do the show.
Remind me to order you a medal.
Look, I hope you don't think I had anything to do with him getting asked to be co-host.
You really want to know what I think?
Sure.
I think I'm going to regret the day you came in here with those balloons in your hand for the rest of my life.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Because I really resent what they're doing to you around here.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's true. As a matter of fact, I was going to offer you my help.
I can do without your kind of help, Ruby.
I don't think you can.
Try me.
Well, if you really want to know the truth, I need your help too, Phil.
Oh, please. This is where we came in.
You don't understand. I don't think Billy Joe is capable of this job. It's way out of his league. He's not a talker like you are. He doesn't have your charm. Doesn't have your looks. Billy Joe's, well, he's kind of homespun.
Why don't you save your sales pitch for somebody else?
I think Billy Joe's biting off more than he can chew. Listen, I would much rather see Billy Joe appear on the show twice a week and have the show stay on the air than to have him co-host the show and have it fail.
That's what you think would happen.
Of course it is. This isn't Billy Joe's kind of thing. You remember what happened the first day he was here at KVIK? He didn't even want to go on the air. And you got to remember that 10% out of what Billy Joe makes goes to me, right? Well, 10% of nothing is nothing. And that is exactly what I'm going to end up with if Billy Joe gets to co-host the show and it goes off the air.
Well, you got a point there.
And I got Ricky to consider. Now, he's starting to do real well. He really needs this job.
So what are you suggesting?
Well, I'm suggesting that the two of us get together for a little powwow after the show.
Oh, like last night, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry about last night. At least I'm sorry that your wife walked in on us. But I got a place we can go where nobody's going to walk in on us. If you're interested.
Where'd you get this motel room?
From a friend.
I bet you've got plenty of friends, too.
I got a couple. I think it's important to have friends. How about a drink?
No, thanks, not for me. I'd just like to get right down to business.
You don't mind if I have one, do you? I need to unwind a little bit.
No, you go right ahead.
What kind of business are you talking about?
You sure are something, Ruby, right?
Sorry about your wife walking in on us.
Not half as sorry as I am. I was dumb. That was real stupid of me. Right there in the studio, I don't know what I was thinking about.
That's why I thought we could come here. If you know what I mean.
I got a pretty good idea.
Well, here's to the Phil Roberts show. And particularly to Phil Roberts.
You're one hell of an attractive girl, Ruby, right?
You know, I think before we go any farther with this, we ought to settle our other business first. Otherwise, we might never get down to it.
Well, you're probably right.
I think Billy Joe's co-hosting the show today was a disaster.
Well, I swear, Ruby, that brother of yours is going to tear my show right down to the bottom.
Only if we let him.
Well, there's no way we can stop him now. You heard what Ben said. Everybody at the TV station thinks he's the next Johnny Carson.
We just have to find some way to make people not believe that.
Well, what do you propose we do?
Well,
I'll tell you, Ruby. I built that show up right from the bottom. When I began, we were on only at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the only audience we had was farmers slurping coffee. I made that show what it is. The top-rated show on KVIK.
And you will again.
Nobody's going to take it away from me without a fight.
Of course they won't.
I mean it. I'll do anything. Anything. To keep your brother from taking that show away from me.
And I'm going to help you. First, you got to calm down. You got to take it easy.
Calm down? How am I going to calm down? Every time I think about it, I see red.
What you need is a good, stiff drink.
Yeah, I'll go over these tonight then, okay? Hey, Mr. Carrington.
Hello.
How's the news department holding up these days?
Oh, it's all right. I hear the ratings are still climbing on the Phil Roberts show.
Well, they haven't been doing too bad.
What can I do for you, Elliot?
Well, I have a favor to ask you, Ben. I have a friend who's opening a shop in the Galleria, a high-fashion boutique.
And you want me to model for her?
Well, not quite. I was wondering if you might be able to work her onto Phil's show sometime soon.
Well, you're talking about Mrs. Carrington.
Right.
Mrs. Carrington?
Oh, the woman we're talking about was married to my son, Dennis.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about him in the papers. That murder business that Dennis was arrested
Page's
for.
arrest was a mistake, just as Dennis's was.
Mrs. Carrington is one great lady. You'd like her a lot, Ben. I mean, she'd be great for the show.
Well, how soon do you need to have her on?
Well, it really needs to be in the next 3 or 4 days if it's going to do any real good.
I just don't know.
Well, would it help for me to talk to Phil?
Well, you see, that's just the problem. You see, Phil's not in any mood to talk to anybody about anything right now. There have been a couple of changes on the show, and he's not very happy about it.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't want to make life difficult for you, but this is really very important to me.
Well, I'll do the best I can, but I can't make any promises.
I understand completely. I'll appreciate whatever you can do.
Okay, you got it.
Good.
I'll check with Phil tomorrow, see what kind of mood he's in, and I'll get back to you right away.
Good. Thanks, Ben.
Billy Joe, we can go over these commercials a couple of times before we tape them tomorrow.
Oh, sure, okay. Fine. Has Paige run into some trouble at the boutique?
Yeah, she has. I just hope it's something we can remedy. I just have to find a way to help her.
Oh. How's Nita been doing helping around the shop?
Oh, she seems to be thriving on it. Paige says she couldn't have done it without her.
Did you know that they made me co-host the Phil Roberts show today?
No, I did. Well, congratulations. I think that's great.
Well, thank you very much. The reason I'm bringing it up is I think I just might be able to help Paige get on the show.
Oh, what do you want? I'm sure this is not a social call.
I want to get several things straight with you.
Oh, I already got the message from Mrs. Oliver. Thank you, if that's what you're referring to.
Elliot just paid me a visit. His concern for you is touching. He wanted to know if I was the one who convinced Edith not to sponsor the opening of your boutique. Oh, before you say anything, let me assure you that it most definitely was I. Just in case there was any lingering doubt in your little mind.
Oh, I didn't have any doubts whatsoever, Iris. It's exactly the kind of cheap shot that I expect from you. It had your stamp all over it.
But it wasn't a cheap shot. It was very open and above board, which is what I'm being with you now, Paige. I don't want to keep it a secret from you or anyone else.
There are other charities besides the Orphans Fund. Actually, it was their loss, not mine.
Yes, there are other charities. But unfortunately, most of them are headed by friends of mine, or Edith's. I don't think you'll have much success with them.
We'll see about that.
I'd like to make a suggestion. Why don't you just throw in the towel now and save everyone a great deal of trouble?
You'd really like that, wouldn't you, Iris?
Very much.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I have no intention of giving up. I've invested a great deal of money in this boutique, actually, everything I own in the world. Not you, nor Edith Oliver, nor all of the wealthy phonies in Houston are going to stop me on this one, Iris, because I'm going to make it work.
We'll see about that. I think you're overestimating yourself. You're going to pay for what you did to my son.
I already paid for that.
The price wasn't high enough. I told you before, I want you out of Houston, and I'm not going to stop until you're gone. You're going to lose everything with this boutique, Paige. I'll see to that. Mark my words, honey.
How's Lurleen?
Well, she has a bad headache, so I gave her a couple aspirin.
Well, you know, Doc Williams said it was a slight concussion. She's been doing too much.
I know. I think if she gets some rest, she'll feel a lot better. Hey, did you talk to Guy?
Yes. You know, he said that he thought the kitten had gotten caught in the hay and suffocated. There were no marks on it, so one of the horses couldn't have kicked it.
Maybe we can somehow get Lurleen interested in another kitten.
Well, maybe. These ought to keep her busy.
Did you find any other pictures of people that you didn't recognize?
Well, a few.
Well, you better get Judge Rayburn out here real quick for supper.
That's exactly what I'm planning to do. Did you talk to Rena?
Yes, she said she had lunch with a friend of hers who owns a shop in the Galleria, and that Paige has been planning this new boutique, and she was telling them she had some very big plans.
Justin and Paige are two of a kind when it comes to big ideas.
How do you think Justin will do with Marshall Oil?
Well, if he decides to run an honest business, he should do all right.
He didn't run an honest business when he was head of the production division at World Oil.
No, and now he's bought a big yacht. I don't know where it'll end. You know, he's got himself in over his head before he's even started.
Well, if Paige does well with this boutique of hers, maybe she can lend Justin the money.
Oh, hello, Lurleen.
How you feeling?
Better.
Honey, Doc Williams said you should rest. You've been doing too much.
I'm okay.
You still have a headache?
No. I left Max's jacket down at the stable. I have to go get it.
Well, I'll go with you.
It's okay. I can go by myself.
All right.
Well, you were right about Iris. She was responsible for Mrs. Oliver's withdrawing from the opening.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
Well, she insisted on taking the credit herself.
You mean she was here?
Oh, yes. Just missed her.
Oh, well, good. What did she say?
Oh, the usual. She wants me out of Dennis's life, and she wants me out of Houston. It's beginning to sound like a stuck record.
You know, I think Iris knows a great many influential people in Houston, but I don't think she's as powerful as she thinks she is. Did you have any success getting any of the other charities to back the opening?
I called several, but I'm not going to have any answers until tomorrow.
I stopped by the studio on the way back to check on things. I had an idea.
What?
Well, I talked to the producer of the Phil Roberts show about the possibility of you going on as a guest.
On television?
Yeah, to talk about the boutique. It'd be great for publicity.
I don't know, Elliot. The thought of going on a television show makes me a little nervous. But I'll do it if it'll make the place a success.
Good.
Well, what did the producer say?
Well, he didn't give me a definite answer. He said he would talk to Phil Roberts in the morning and get back to me.
You're the only one who really understands me, Ruby. The only one.
Of course, I understand you. You're the most brilliant, talented, handsome man I've ever met in my whole life. You have a flair that nobody else has. Want me to freshen up your drink a little bit?
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little.
Oh, that's enough. You don't want to overdo it.
It's not a flair. No. It's charisma. That's what it is.
Yeah? You really think so? I guess I do, don't I? I guess I got charisma.
Don't you worry about a thing, honey. Ruby's gonna take good care of you. You just leave everything to me.
Highway Patrol has spotted Barrett's car just outside of Denver. They're double checking now, and they're going to call us back as soon as they know anything.
Maybe Barry and Steve will head back to that ranch.
Well, I don't know. They're going to. Ryan's called the ranch and alerted them, so they're going to call us if the Barrett shows up.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah. I know, but I just don't want to get too excited because I'll be disappointed. So I haven't even made reservations for Denver yet until I'm sure that they show up there.
That's sensible.
And besides, Rena told us that we could use Stryker's airplane anytime we wanted to. Is Lurleen back yet?
No, stop worrying. She'll be all right.
Hello? Hello, Jenny? Miss Kay? Who is this? Hello? Hello?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.